on this computer. All right, and thank you everybody for joining us on this beautiful Sunday to wrap up the Helly Hansen Nude Regatta in Annapolis. I'm checking in from Newport. It was a spectacular day here, nice 20-knot westerly and a beautiful crystal clear skies. Probably the same bit of skies you guys have down there. So I looked from Jen's videos. I saw that racing was quite lovely. So all in all, good day. So let me do a quick screen share here. Since Jen went through the effort of trying to play videographer this weekend. So this was
yeah, my new skills.
This was I believe maybe you can walk us through what we're seeing here, Jen. And this was a good.
I will.
Lots of look at that clean, nicely going.
I think that was halfway down their first run in race one today for the J70, right?
No, these are J30, so hopefully you can see it. But anyway, yeah, looked like good action there. Good close racing on the 30s as always. That's always super fun. Okay, one more quick one here to just give a sense of what else was going on. I love this. This is a nice. Oops, that guy there.
That's a video, though, isn't it?
Yeah. So these guys ended up winning their class, I'm assuming, on the J70. But you guys caught a nice little boat handling here. Let's see what we got. Beautiful sailing there, huh? All right. Anyway, that would give a quick flavor of what it was like to look nice up there. So nicely done, you guys. So, Jonathan, you were out there racing?
I actually was. I sailed on a J80 class on Division 2 with John White. We had a fantastic weekend. Kudos to the race committee. I felt that the race committee we had did a spectacular job, and there was plenty of breeze for most of the regatta and what we would call plenty of shifts. And today, a lot of current that we had to put up with, and the race committee really had the marks in the water, I would say, a high majority of the time. So with that said, I just really want to thank AYC, Eastport Yacht Club, and Severn Sailing Association for all their efforts this weekend for bringing really good race management to this event. And I would suspect most of the competitors would agree. And also to Linda Ambrose of AYC for all the effort she puts forward for us, working with you guys, in the nude regatta every year. So we're really wonderful to have this regatta. We're really excited it happened, and we just can't thank you guys enough for making it.
Yeah, well done to the team running it down there. It felt like a normal regatta on the water, but otherwise, party at home, right?
That's what it was.
Yeah, nice.
And so the sailing, people got to go sailing and with good racing. So, that's a fantastic weekend.
Excellent. All right. So Zeke, how did it go for you? You were in this battle, I believe, that he's talking about.
Yeah. We had a fun battle against Jonathan's team on the JD course. We ended up winning the regatta, but it was they didn't make it very easy on us, that's for sure. And they were flying for the second half of the event. Really tough to catch. And if I never have to follow around, sail a J80 in the lee of a couple of J35s, it'll be too soon. That was quite the challenge of today. Felt like the fleet just kept getting closer and closer, and we were really mixed into the J35s. And Jonathan was having a nice time, playing ping pong ball with us between him and the J35. So it was very difficult racing, very, very fun, kind of back and forth stuff. Tight fleet, and worked out for us this time, but we know we got some work to do if we want to keep those guys behind us in the future.
Was that a little bit of the play, Jonathan, was to bounce them into the other fleets? It's that can work quite well sometimes.
Well, we had one chance to do it, and it worked pretty well. So we were giggling a little when it occurred, and I know Zeke felt it. So great sailing to you guys.
I'm still feeling it.
Stuck it to him. All right. Did you find what was fast for the day in these conditions? Maybe a little bit of a J80 speed tip. What was your speed tip for the day?
That's got to go to Jonathan. They definitely had the advantage in speed. It seemed like they'd had the boat in a wide groove and were able to kind of be fast and high throughout the really big motorboat chop and everything. For us, the biggest tip that I think came off our boat was being a little easier on the jib halyard, just keeping the jib a little more full and powered up, just erring on more power all the time. But I would defer to Mr. Bartlett there, Commodore Bartlett, on the go fast tips in the 80 today.
Commodore, give us one.
We actually had mast step aft, and we were at our base setting for 8 to 12 knots, and we set the boat up light. And as Zeke said, you play your jib halyard in this class, and jib sheet a lot. And if you do that, you make really big, just these little subtle adjustments make a difference and keep the boat moving. And we were lucky enough to do that today.
Excellent. Austin, in the Viper class, what went down on this final day?
We had every sort of breeze you could ask for. We had, wind as much as it felt like maybe a 15-knot gust every once in a while. And then sometimes it would drop out to like, 2 or 3 knots when you got underneath like an Allberg 30 or something like that on our course. So we kind of saw everything. And we, I wouldn't say our boat speed was as good as it was yesterday, but we hit a lot of shifts, which is what you got to do in the northwesterly here, or the westerly is what kind of worked out to be. And so you could kind of nail the first shift off of the line and then play tactics and cover, the rest of the way. It seemed to work out pretty well.
Was that first shift visible, or what? Maybe explain a little bit how you were able to sniff that out.
Yeah, we kind of would see where the fleet would stack up with what the shift was. So, for example, if it looked like it was going to be a left, or we were in a left shift, we knew it was pretty oscillating, so it's probably going to go back to a right shift. So we would always kind of start underneath of the fleet. If it was, if everyone was at the pin, we would start actually underneath of them and tack quickly because we knew the next shift was going to be a righty. And that was kind of the strategy for the day, was think about the next shift after, and it's okay to be underneath of the fleet, even if it's on the lifted tack, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Great advice. All right. Will Keyworth, you've been out taking photos all weekend. What was your, can you give us a quick Wilbur assessment of how this weekend went?
I'd love to, Dave. For me, this is a little bit different, not being on the boat, on the sailboats, and kind of watching from the camera lens. But from a regatta standpoint, number one, it's really great to see guys out sailing and having fun sailboat racing, and motoring around and doing some photography. People were just beaming and smiling. It was an incredibly good 3 days, well managed by all involved, a little different than what we're used to. You can't say the parties were great, but I'm sure everybody had a great time. And I enjoyed it. It was a lot of work getting from course to course. Each day was a little different. And it's interesting, being an ex-sailboat racer. Well, I still sailboat race with Dad. I just don't do it as much anymore. And these guys in the bottom row here, they're lucky I'm not out there. That's all right. But from just not being a competitor and going through your mind, current, wind, all the different scenarios you play, from number one, a strategic standpoint, and then a tactical standpoint, it's kind of fun to armchair quarterback, to be honest, because you have no consequences. And but it was an incredibly nice event, nicely run by the race committee, everybody involved, really great.
Excellent. Well, let's see if we can pull up some of your photos, see if I'm capable of that. I was having some trouble downloading them before, but let's see if I can. Okay, well, I can't load it up for some reason. So, all right, well, what we're gonna have to do is everybody go. Well, they'll be at sailingworld.com under the nude page. We got the photo gallery's been going up every day, and you've been outstanding as a weekend photographer for us, and thank you very much for snapping away for us. It's been great. All right, so let's dial up some results, and maybe you guys, you've been down there, so if you can give me a sense of what we see here with this Viper fleet. We know what happened in the Vipers, and you got 1, 2, 3. How many? 6. That's not a bad string of races there.
Yeah. We ended up kind of finding another gear in the last kind of half of the event, and it's we minimized our mistakes. Like I said, it was our first time sailing together this event, so it took maybe a couple races to get going. But Mary and Jeff were all over us the whole day. And the last race, Jeff actually took over the tiller, and I think we changed leads maybe like 5 or 6 times in the last race, and it came down to the final lap of the 3-lap race that we did to finish off the day.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. And so on the J30, Doug and Amy are certainly the local top team as far as we know, but they had a good one going on with the Shamrock team. But what's their story? Anybody got the quick one on them?
My guess is I'll speak on those guys' behalf. They're just probably the best total team in the J30 fleet, and their crew work's exceptional. And they're the reigning North American champions, and they're going to be tough to beat on their home water.
All right. And in the Etchells, I had a smaller fleet this weekend. I think most, probably the rest of them on the East Coast are up here in Newport. But Marge and Matt LaLumiere, he seems to be a regular at this regatta and always does quite well.
Yeah, I think he's, if I'm not mistaken, this might be the second or third time he's won the Annapolis Nude, always going really fast out there. But there's not much in it with that Etchells fleet. Any one of those guys could be winning the races, as you see in the score line. So it looked like it was pretty tight racing for everybody.
Excellent. And how about these joint J24 cats here? Pretty much won them all except for one. That's a pretty good weekend.
Yeah, our friends Kelly and Mike and their father and friends sailed on that boat, and they sailed, they sail every Thursday night, and they sailed, it showed all weekend. Their crew work and everything was phenomenal, and they were definitely keeping the boat going quick.
Cool. And what's the story with this Naval Academy team here in the J22s?
I don't know, but I saw Jeff Todd in the parking lot, and I said, "Did you get it done?" He goes, "Not even close. Those Navy kids just whooped our tails all weekend." But he was smiling ear to ear. I think he was really excited to see some young blood in the J22 class, and getting out there and proving to be pretty fast. Yeah.
All right, cool. So in the Allbergs, I feel like it's, as far as I've been involved with this event, Tim Williams and his crew on Lingen have won it, but there was sort of a 1-point upset here that I'm looking at with. And they each had some sort of scoring penalty. So anybody see what happened on that race course?
I did not.
Yeah, it was hard to keep track of all the different boats going out there, but I know one boat had a really colorful spinnaker, and they seemed to always be in the front. It might have been Laughing Gull, and the mark roundings always seemed to be really, really tight, and the whole fleet, I think, was within 10 boat lengths of each other most of the way around the race course. I'm sure it was fun racing for everyone in that fleet. True.
And same thing for the J35s. This may be one of the few years that the Sega homes don't do it, but what is this? Abinat said the Roger Land. Is that a new boat to the scene?
Not a new boat. They actually broke their mast at the beginning of the season, or actually in early June, and he went and bought a used boat, like any J35. And he took all his scraps. He took the rig and he brought it back. He put it in the boat on Wednesday afternoon. Went out and won the race on Wednesday night. And looking lo and behold, he went and won this weekend. So good on him for getting back to sailing. And that's a big effort on his part. So that's a good story.
And a great repurpose of a J35 that had no more afterlife.
Pretty much.
All right. And the 105s, this has been always great. But these guys, Cedric and Frederick, kind of like, they are pretty much unbeatable in this fleet right now, aren't they?
Yeah, we watched a lot of their starts because we were on the same course kind of right after them, so wanted to keep an eye on what they were doing. And it was just, the starts were crazy for the J105s. There's tons of boats, and they're aggressive. They're an aggressive bunch. So it was, people were spinning out at the boat or fouling at the pin in almost every race. And you just look up after 20 seconds, and Mirage was just 2 boat lengths ahead and going fast and in the right direction seemingly every time. It was pretty impressive.
Very cool. Clean exits, huh?
Yeah.
Probably the same thing for John Heaton, his group there, other than the great boat handling that we saw at the beginning of the show here. That's a pretty solid run of events. What's his story?
Yeah, I think they're the only out-of-town boat that came for the new. John came in from Chicago. I actually do a lot of sailing with John Heaton and those boys in the 70s when I'm not sailing with Mr. Crump, and they're finely tuned boat handling and boat speed machine. They've been sailing the boat for a really long time, and they were really clean in the starts. They kind of seemed to be down by the pin a whole bunch and just coming off really fast and going the right way, making good decisions. But they sailed beautifully all weekend.
We, if I could jump in, we gave one of their crew guys a ride in because they had to transfer a car. And they had, he was from Florida, and they've had really no sailing, and they were happy to get here. They're going to leave the boat here and do some fall sailing here because they had a great time. But they were very excited that there was something they could go to because there's nothing going on in Florida, and Newport's been kind of slow for the J70 this year. So it'll be good to have them around for a little while. They sailed the boat really, really well. I will say that. I watched them through the week, and they just were. You always wondered how they got where they were because they were very quick. Right off the line, they were gone.
Excellent. And well, we know how the J80 story played out. It probably looks like it was in that John White's final race win. Was that when you pinged him off into the 30s?
I think that was that the first race today, Zeke? Or
I think it was all day long, Jonathan. I don't know. It was just one big blur of you tacking on me and then me sailing behind a J35. That's how I'm going to go to sleep tonight thinking about it.
Well, Will Keyworth used to own a J35, and he was very fast in it. So I'm sure Wilbur really loved. I hope he got a picture of you underneath him too.
I hope he did not.
I do have some pictures of you, Zeke.
Well, it sounds like there was all in all good sailing, good little rivalries, and all in all a great weekend. I think in every circle, everybody has their stories, which is always super cool. So Jen and Sue have been lurking there in the dark. I think on the upper deck of the AY.
In the dark.
Well,
It's gorgeous here.
Where we lost you, but is that the upper deck of the beautiful new upstairs of the AYC Sailing Center? I'm assuming.
Yeah. So remember last year, this was packed with people, big, huge party. Now I have tons of space.
Cool. Well, nicely done running this thing, Jen. What were your thoughts after trying to organize this thing all year long and have it finally pulled off and done?
We did it. We won. This is a win. And my huge thanks to our host, AYC. Thank you so much. You guys you host us. You do a great job on the water with EYC and SSA. I truly feel like we can pack up tonight and walk away proud of the weekend. It's a great weekend.
All right. And thanks, obviously, to Helly Hansen, who I know would have loved to have been there. They love Annapolis. Jenny Dodlin loves Annapolis. And
I talked to Jenny all weekend. She kept checking in, seeing how it was going. So we couldn't do it without them. And all the other sponsors, you guys make it so we can come and do this for the sailors. So
excellent.
It's a collective win.
Right on. And to North Sales, thank you guys for joining us this weekend. And you're doing a full team debrief tomorrow. How do people go find that? Is that do you register on the North Sales Facebook, or how do we find it?
I think we will have a link on Facebook, and then if you're on our mailing list, there'll be a link that's sent out as well, and you can register. And it'll also be available on YouTube after the fact as well. It usually takes about a day for them to post it.
Okay, roger that. So you're doing that in the afternoon. You give you a day to kind of collect your thoughts.
Yeah, or keep Jonathan and Zeke from killing each other in the office.
All right, so we've got even though we haven't had to be able to pick a bunch of overall winners, we've got to do it this weekend here. And Jen, you can explain that real quick, and I suppose you're going to pick the overall winner. And the way it goes is basically if you win your class, your hat goes into a hat, or your name goes into a hat, and you get picked, and then you get your Sun Sail charter. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, so if you're eligible if you won your class. And as you guys know, we already told you they're not racing this year. Sadly, that championship's over. But this is to race with everybody from 2021 next year, at the end of next season. So this is from Sun Sail, obviously. They give you the boat. We'll get down there. We have a great time. It's usually between 6 and 8 boats because you can also come down and sort of pay to play. And along with all that, Helly is giving you guys, everyone on the crew, a crew kit. So whoever wins, when I draw your name, we'll give you all the details later. So just be excited now and party at home. Ready?
Oh, wow. There's a stiff hand there. It could be Austin. It could be Zeke. Who knows, Yeah, they promise not rigged.
J80 seat.
Oh.
Yep.
Who was it? J80?
Yeah.
You?
Woo! Going to the islands.
So then, like, we'll tell you all about it later. Congratulations. Here's your
Oh man.
Well, that's pretty
That's
amazing.
funny.
The good thing is that we can prove that it was pulled from a hat, and this is definitely not rigged.
Yeah. Fully live.
And I guess it's not
Oh boy, how you doing over there, Jonathan? You all right?
Zeke, we won last year. I'm quite fine.
That's
Oh,
great.
good.
Got it last year.
Oh
So
man, wow. I guess you got to sail the J80s if you want to go to the islands, huh?
It seems to
be
be.
the Crump's second time they've won.
Wow, cool.
Congratulations.
Well,
Wow.
thanks on behalf of the Crumps, I guess.
So, Dave, if you want to interview the winner, go ahead.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Well, I think we know their story, so that's cool. Well, no, it's a bummer that the Sunsail BVI Championship can't get pulled off this year, but it is definitely a fun time. I don't know if you've been down there yet, Zeke, or the Crumps. The Crumps came with us one year, many years ago, I believe, and it's a good time. So, well, it looks like you got a charter coming to you.
Wahoo.
All right, well, thank you, everybody. Congratulations from up here in Newport, the new headquarters. Yeah, it looked like a fun time. So look forward to getting back there next year. And I guess which was 9 months' time, because if we go back to the 2021 schedule, we'll be there in May. So short season until we see you guys next. Right, Jen?
Yes.
And
Less
so,
than a year. We're back. Thanks, you guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.
thank you, everybody, and enjoy
Thank
the rest,
you.
I guess the final days of summer into September, the best days of the year. And we'll see you next year.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Have a great one. Stay healthy.